It's October. We're talking about horror movies this month. So let's look at Hereditary from just this year, 2018. At the beginning, I like the obituary page. If you're going to narrate or give us text, then it's always more fun to incorporate it into the movie world. The transition from the dollhouse to the real room at the beginning is also really good. It sets us up for a lot of good visuals, a lot of good imagery, and a lot of good cinematography that's going to keep coming up. I like the wide angles and the staged nature of the cinematography. You don't always have to be claustrophobic to be creepy, and throwing the camera around while characters scream isn't scary, it's annoying, so I appreciate them not taking either of those routes. And the kids' rooms are messy and seen. People forget to do that sometimes. They also do a good job throughout the film of weaving exposition into realistic conversation. But as a third party listening in, I'm thinking, wow, there's all kinds of weird stuff in everyone's background. Do you guys think you're healthy? But then 5 minutes after they first initiate that, they make a meta reference to fictional characters not paying attention to obvious signs around them. So it was a fun way to direct the audience to a theme to look for. I noticed there's a theme also that everyone is creating throughout this movie, and when they're not, they're discontent. They're having to do drugs or find something to pass their time. Annie is a professional artist, but the little girl Charlie has her little sculptures and draws and fiddles with puzzles, and the boy Peter is playing guitar and he has a keyboard. The pacing, though, it kind of lulled me instead of intriguing me. The details are impressive, the themes that pop up and the visual details both, so I guess they wanted to give you time to see all of them, and this is especially true of the miniatures, but it really just lulled me instead of intriguing me. In fact, without good cinematography and editing, this movie is a collection of people doing weird stuff. I didn't take any notes during the middle of the movie because I didn't have anything to say. I was just taking it in, waiting for something to happen. Maybe I'm supposed to be looking for clues or wondering how things were going to turn out, but I was too busy wondering what was even happening that needed a turnout. Joan was a blessedly suspicious character, but that's all I got, the sense of suspicion, not any sense of direction when she was on screen. There are fun moments, though, like the dad checking under the table, looking for any special effects when weird stuff starts happening, and that's a reflection of what Annie had done earlier the first time she saw something weird. So they had fun little moments like that scattered throughout, and it turned out to be a neat scheme. The villain's scheme was neat, but why was the entire middle of the movie here? Why was it not giving us any indication of what was going on? It really feels like someone said, this is a plotting, cerebral horror movie, so it has to be at least 2 hours long. This should have been an hour and a half like most horror movies, and it should have moved from plot point to plot point instead of trying to establish the surroundings so much. Every time something happened, the movie cut to daylight and started a new episode instead of ramping things up. I did not need over 2 hours of this movie, and it didn't need over 2 hours to tell the story that it was trying to tell. I will give them props on both the attractive visuals and the creepy visuals, though, especially at the end with things moving around while unsuspecting characters aren't paying attention. But the ending is pretty stupid. It's coherent. I'm not particularly bothered by the way the story plays out, just by the awkward way it's depicted. It's fine, but not impressive, and it was put together pretty well, so I will be generous and give Hereditary a 2 out of 5.